Well, excuse me. Welcome to Zen Fits. Need to clear my voice before I start speaking. Well, good morning. Welcome to Blackstone, a beautiful day here in February 15th at the center of the world, but then you too are at the center of the world. So, I haven't been doing my Zen Fits lately. I've been, I just do them when I get an impulse. When something cries out to be born. Like a frog voice in the night. Who am I? What shall I be? What shall I say? I've got to speak, you see. And so I've been getting kind of political here lately. If you follow my comments, I've become I've flipped to Bloomberg. And I have tried out all the other candidates. I've sent money to Sanders, Warren, and Pete. Trying them out for size. I like them all. I like Gorbachev. I like all the Democratic. And I vote for. They all make great presidents. But Iowa changed something for me. Iowa reminded me of the first Blue Run in the Battle of the Civil War, when they thought the war was going to be over in 6 weeks, and the people from Washington came out with their picnics to watch the battle on the field. And they thought it would be over in 6 weeks. And the South routed the North, and the Northern Army ran for their lives back to Washington. The picnic tables were overturned. And people realized that it wasn't going to be a picnic. And so Iowa reminded me of that. It was kind of like the demolition of a hope, a 9/11. In a sense that there was the expectation that one of the candidates would break out and become a front runner, and everybody would unite, and that blue wave would sweep through the country, collecting all the Democrats, little surfers on the blue wave, and it would wash Trump out to sea. What didn't happen? And Trump got impeached. And everyone thought, this is the end. Trump will finally, then some, he'll learn these lessons. But what? Trump is stronger. Trump is more determined to demonstrate that he wins. He must demonstrate that he's above the law, above the rules. Demonstrate that he's a winner. Not promise, but demonstrate. That's the point. Trump, and that's why Trump got elected. If you go back to the primaries, Trump was like a matador in his spot. And all the other candidates, the bulls, attacked one or the after another to unseat this matador. And they all got tossed out of the ring. Trump was in his spot and the bulls were not. When you're in your spot, like Sheldon's spot in the Big Bang, nobody can unseat you because you're in the center. It's like a dog. We watch these YouTubes all the time. I watched the one the other day. A cat was in his spot, his yard, and a bear came into the yard and the cat chased the bear out of the yard. The cat was in his spot. When you're in your center, nobody can unseat you. And the presidency is the center. In our system, that's why the Republicans have always longed for, championed, and worked to have a strong president, a center that can't be unseated. So their whole political party is like a tent that is held up by the center pole, which is the president. So if anybody attacks that pole, the Republicans defend it, even though the pole is corrupt and rotted and will collapse the whole American society. They will defend that pole because it's the center. And if they don't defend that center, their whole party will collapse. And then their power will be gone. and then their identity will be gone, you see. So it's very difficult to unseat the matador when he's in his spot. So when we look at all these other great Democratic bulls, who was going to unseat Trump, you see? So you got Sanders, who is kind of like a prophet, and you got Buttigieg, who's kind of like the JFK intellectual, and you got Warren, who's kind of like a social engineer, and you got Klobuchar, who is just a nice person. You see, so you got all these bulls, you see, and then you got Trump. Now Trump is like a tiger tank. I just watched a documentary on World War II. I don't know, I like World War II documentaries. And it was on Prime, and it was on tank warfare. And it just went through all the tank battles in history, which was not that old, Second World War. One was on the First World War, all the rest Second World War, Korean War, Vietnam, the battles. So it had animated tanks, but it also had the battle plan. And it had people who were in the tanks describing the battle. And the most powerful tank of the Second World War was the Tiger tank. It had the most armor. The other tanks, the shells just bounced off of it. And its cannon was bigger so it could shoot the other tanks before they came in range. Do you see the movie The Fury? That was about a tank battle between a Sherman tank and a Tiger tank. The Americans had Sherman tanks. They were fast, but they couldn't even hit, they couldn't even blow up. The only way they could blow up a Tiger tank was to get it from behind. And they could move around it. It wasn't until the end of the war that America came up with the tank equivalent to the Tiger, and that was the Pershing. And it had more armor and a bigger gun. So I was thinking about our battle now that we've had our first bull run, and the Democrats were disorganized. They didn't run. I'm not saying that they ran from them. I'm just saying that the expectations of a beautiful, quick war collapsed, you see. And the enemy is even stronger. So I'm reminded of the tank battle. So when you have a Tiger tank that's in the center, defending its center, you need another tank. You need a Pershing tank. And if Rommel's driving that Tiger, you need a Patton. You need to match the enemy tank commander with your own tank commander. And that's why I flipped to Bloomberg. It's not that he's a better candidate. It's not that he has better policies. They're all good policies. He's in his center. He is in his center, you see. So it's going to be a battle of not the bulls and the matador, but two matadors. I mean, Bloomberg made his billions. You realize he has $60 billion, billions, as a media mogul. He's at home in the media. Trump is at home in the media. Trump is a media president. That's his field. Performance, selling products, branding other people, you see. So you need a media mogul to fight a media mogul. You need a tank commander to fight a tank. And so that's why I switched over. If you don't win, all the good policies don't mean anything. So, anyway, thanks for dropping in, and so continue to, as you read my posts. And so Bloomberg, so I really, when I get creative, it's because I am possessed by a metaphor. The metaphor then begins to It's like a faucet that turns on creative words and creative insights. So I'm understanding Bloomberg and our Armageddon. 2020 is kind of like an Armageddon in the sense Christians like that. See? But they may look at it as a fight against the devil. Well, it is a fight against the devil. It is a fight against light, against darkness. It is a fight for the soul of America. What kind of an America are we going to live in? And America has always rested in its assurance of invulnerability. Oh, the oceans. Nobody can attack us. We're defended by oceans. Then there was Pearl Harbor. So, okay, so now there's no enemy out there who can invade us because nobody's big enough to invade us. And we had 9/11. Oh, this can't be happening. And now we've got the next challenge, you see. This can't be happening. We can't lose America. We can't lose our institutions. Everything will be cool. It's kind of like the coronavirus. You know, it's coming. Oh, I can't get here. Just drink Corona beer. You'll be all right. Corona beer will protect you. So, anyway, thanks for dropping in. See you on Facebook.